was yesterday's. Wordles is today. Connections is today, and then strands is today. The mini yesterday, and letterbox would be yesterday as well. So, okay. Click on the Wordle. And get 6 chances to guess a 5-letter word, which is the basic principle of Wordle. So play, and what happens is, well, I'm holding my phone at a bit of an angle so I don't get reflection from the lights on the screen. Yeah, it's like that, so I'll hold it like that. I don't get the reflection. Got my phone's in my fabulous back case that I've yes, I only just got a new one recently, and I still do plastic cards for things, credit cards and travel cards and things. Maybe one day I'll have a driver's license as well, so maybe one day I'll have all the digital copy of things be right. So anyway, okay, so the word, or what you do is you type in a word, a 5-letter word, and see what matches you get by letter. So I always like starting with alone, and then you hit enter. And actually, Alone is one of my favourite TV shows. They've just released a new season of Alone USA, season 12. But the basic premise is that they drop 10 people, in different spots in a general wilderness sort of area, and they just give them 10 survival items, like something to, or a ferro rod to light their fire, maybe an axe or bow and arrow, that sort of stuff. And let's see who can survive the longest. I don't think anybody selects soap. I think if I was on Alone, I'd want to take a slow soap as one of my survival items. Anyway, I'm getting off track there. I digress. So what we know with this word, any of the grey letters, greyed out boxes, means that they're not a match. So A, L, O and E is not going to feature in today's word, but the letter N does. It's just that N is in the wrong spot. So Alone, and actually I'll just say this was actually somebody's suggestion. I think they might have watched the Game Boy video and said that you should do Wordle, and I thought it's actually an interesting idea. Okay, Alone. The second word, though, today's an easy one. I can see what the answer is. So, what was I going to say? Yeah. So they're the 15 most popular letters, and I've worked out the 3 words. Oh, I know what I was going to say. 3 words that that use all those 15 letters. Now, some people like to solve it in as few like to solve it in as few guesses as possible. So they might just see the CH in the end, and they might try and guess it from that, and see if they can do it in 3. But I can see with the drums now, the D, the R, and the S are not featuring in the final word, but the U and the M is. So the word's going to be start in the first 3 letters are going to contain N, U and M, and finish with CH. So M, U, N, C, H is, I think, is a strong guess of what the final word might be. So hit enter. And there we go. And it says splendid or something. Congratulations. I've guessed the letter, guessed the word. If I click on that X and go back there, you can see munch, M-U-N-C-H. All the boxes are green. That means that munch was today's word. I actually just so on this one, the A, the L, the N and the E are not going to feature in the final word, just the O, except the O won't be in the centre position. That's the first clue. And then pitch, P-I-T-C-H, and over this side for enter. Okay, so the P, the T and H are greyed out, so they won't feature in the final answer, but the I and the C, except that are in the final word, but they're just in the wrong position. Okay, that's the next word. D-R-U-M-S, drums, and enter. Okay. So R and U are in the final word, but just in a different position. But the D, M and S are not featuring in the final. Are not featuring in the final word, so okay. Nothing's jumping to mind at this stage. Okay. What I often do now is I might just try some different letter combinations. Let's see if that helps me. Just check that these aren't O, and then so U, so that can't be that one, because the U's in there. U, I, which is probably not going to be a word, so if I hit enter it will shake, I think. Yeah, not in word list. What about I'm sure that people watching this video are shouting now at the video, at the screen, saying, what about such and such a word? Or what about, wait a tick, oops, I think it might have just come to me. What if curios or is, that could be a word. And if you look up there, U, I haven't tried U in that second column. I haven't tried R in the middle column. And then I haven't tried A in the fourth column, so hit enter and see what happens. Oh, there we go. Ooh. And back again, curio was the answer. So, C-U-R-I-O. I think that one wasn't too bad. It's not really a standard sort of a make-up of letters. Which of it is, consonant, vowel, maybe a couple of vowels, and ending in a consonant as well, so something like ending in OR, or something like that. But anyway, I've solved it in 4 guesses, which I think that says splendid. I did say splendid up there as I made the guess, so yeah. Not a bad one, slightly more difficult than yesterday, although it's a word that doesn't use any of those non-popular or unpopular letters. Probably non-popular, things like Q, W, Z, X, F, Y, B and V, and those sort of letters. That's pretty good. Now, just one more thing. Since yesterday, I had actually misplaced this Priceline pharmacy gift card. I found it. I was cleaning up yesterday, so I thought I'll put that in my phone wallet. I'll hopefully spend it sometime soon. I had some airline points that were expiring, and they gave me the option of a gift card, so I took it. This $50 on it, so that's not that much. 50 Australian dollars too, which is even less. Although, so Priceline is a popular chain of pharmacies. They do prescription drugs, over-the-counter medications. Or should have said prescription medications, right? They do. Soaps and shampoos, beauty products, those kind of things. So yeah, I just need to remember when I'm walking past at the shopping centre, go in and try and spend it. Okay, but having it here in my wallet will be a good reminder. Okay, well, got slightly off track with the Priceline voucher, but anyway, gift card. I'll finish up this Wordle now, and then we'll come back. The video will continue on with another Wordle that I will hopefully solve. Okay, so it's day 3 now, and it's time to solve another Wordle. Hopefully solve. This one is Friday, June the 20th, or the 20th of June. And I tap on the Wordle and play. And once again I'll go alone. ALONE. So hopefully for a harder one again today. Well, hoping for a harder Wordle again today. And enter on alone, and okay. So I've got E in the correct spot. A features in the final word, but it's in the different spot. Oh, yeah, different. Not in the first column. And L, O, and N doesn't feature in the final word. And actually, I'll just put pitch, P-I-T-C-H. And actually, those letters that aren't featuring in there are almost as valuable as the letters that are, because then you know L, O, and N. If you've only got a few letters that you've matched with, you sort of know a big chunk of letters that aren't featuring in the final word. Okay, so we've got B, T in the final word, but in a different location. drums and enter. Oh, okay, so I've got U now. The letter U in the middle column. D, R, M and S are not featuring in the final answer, but hopefully this word will be easy to solve. I've got E and U, third column, fifth column, and then I know B, A, T are the other three missing letters now. Nothing's sort of jumping out at me at this stage. And I'm sure once again people are mumbling to themselves that it's such and such a word, or screaming at the screen, but too sure, so I'm just going to try a few different options. Top, I don't know. It's not a word I'm familiar with, but anyway, let's see if I get a hit on that one. Or a shake. Oh, okay. Well, congratulations. Well, that's a bit of a surprise that I've got it. Top. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to do a quick search of that word to see its meaning. I don't think I can get it from here, can I? No. Then I'll come out of this and type in top and see what that means. Taupe, meaning, oh, it's a colour, is it? It's a grey with a tinge of brown. That's taupe is actually a colour. Closer. Taupe in the dictionary, it's a noun. Grey with a tinge of brown. Okay, well, I'll go back to Wordle. It's a word that I can add to my vocabulary today. Taupe. I don't believe I've heard before, but anyway. I suppose what I did there, I just put, well, that first letter has got to be T because it can't be A, it can't be B, it can't be U, it can't be E. So the first letter had to start with A. T. Then I had to only then, I had left was the A and the B. I don't think it could have been B, G, B, U, A, E. And the only other option would have been T, A, U, P, E, which is the one I Saturday, the June 21st of June, June 21st, which is the shortest day of the year, the winter solstice. So I'll tap on Wordle and tap on play. Okay, there's an ad. So I'll tap through the ad and once again I'm going to select alone, ALONE, and across here to the left hand side for enter. Okay, that looks pretty good. I missed out on the O and the N, but the L is in the correct column, the second column, and the E is in the correct spot in the last column, and then the A can't be in the first column, obviously can't be in the second or the last column, so it's got to be in column 3 or column 4 for A. Okay, so that was pretty good way to start. My next word is pitch, P-I-T-C-H, for pitch. A lot of Australians call that H, but I always call it H. Okay, across to enter. Okay, so nothing. So nothing from pitch, so the P, the I, the D, the C and the H will not be in the last word. Okay, so next one is drums, T, R, U, M, S, and enter for drums. Okay, now the A and the D. Have to be, they can't be in the first column, so obviously can't be in the second column or the fifth column, so the A and the D have to be there in column 3 and 4, so my thought is it's going to be a word that I'm not sure about the first letter yet, but it's going to be L-A-D-E, words such as glade or blade. So I could go ahead and guess glade. And then guess blade. But what will I do? Okay, I'll guess glade then and see how I go. G. So obviously G. That guessing G, that's not going to be, it's not one of those first 15 letters that I've used. And if I did B for blade, that's also not one of those first 15 letters, so what that's telling me is that that first letter has got to be one of the remaining, what's that, 11 letters of the alphabet that I haven't tried yet. So okay, I'll go back and try glade first. G-L-A-D-E and enter. Okay, I got it. Splendid. Okay. see, looks like my only two options were Glade or Blade, but sometimes it could be a number of options, and you just keep trying them, and sometimes you run out of rows, and you fail before you get the right word. But anyway, this time it's Glade, Glade, so yeah. This time it's slightly harder because I've had to solve it with one of the remaining 11 letters. Okay, well. Okay, so that's day 4 done. So it's now time to go on to the next day's Wordle. Okay, so it's another day, another Wordle puzzle. I've jumped ahead now to Monday the 23rd of June. So I'll tap on the puzzle and play. Once again, I've got a solid grip there with my hand, and holding the phone at a bit of an angle so you don't get any of the, the light reflecting off the phone screen. That's the word, yeah. I almost forgot that word then. Okay, so I'm recording this at 9:59 in the morning. Okay, once again, I'm going to start with good old alone. something like folly. It doesn't use the D, so folly won't be the word. Or dolly wasn't going to be the word either, but it does try another one of those extra remaining letters that I haven't tried. Or I could do jolly as well, but J. It won't be jolly because I haven't used the D. It could be something like Goldie. I suppose Goldie would be a word, but then I know G. Isn't I know G isn't used. I think I might go back and try dolly. That'll give me a bit of a hint then. Might give me a bit more of a clue on the O and the L. Okay. So it won't be correct, but it might just give me a bit of a clue for the O and the L. So enter on dolly. Okay, now. Okay, so L, that's an L-Y. Okay, that's an L-Y word. Now O. Okay, so obviously O can't be in the second column. Can't be in the third column. O can't be in the third column. And then O also can't be in the fourth or the fifth column. So the word's got to start with O. And we've got to use D. So D. Oh wait, Dick, what about oddly? Let's think about oddly then. So it's got to start with O. The D has got to be in the second or the third column, or both. And L-Y at the end. I wonder if this word oldly I think if it was oldly, that L would have come up as that sort of mustard colour rather than the grey. Oldly, I think that, and then oddly. Oddly is probably more of a common word, I suppose. 5-word word, oddly. Okay, that's a moment of truth. Pressing the enter key and see how I go. Oh, there we go. Phew. Come out that one. Okay, so oddly, I just scrapped through today and got it in the 6th word. That was pretty, that was good. Obviously the first 5 then, sorry, the first 3 words I meant to say didn't really give me much of a clue. It gave me 3 letters, not in the right spot. Gorky gave me the Y. Oddly, oh no, sorry, dolly gave me the L-Y and forced me to use the O at the beginning. And from there I was able to solve it in the 6. Okay, well, I'll see how I go with the next Wordle. Okay, so it's another day, and it's time for another Wordle puzzle, and this is Wordle for Thursday, the 26th of June. So I'll tap on the Wordle and tap on play. Okay, tap through the ad and watching. Okay, alone, enter. Okay, so with alone then the A, the L and the N are not in the final word, but the O and the E are. It's just that they're in different columns. Okay, now what's the next word I use is pitch, P-I-T-C-H, pitch. Yep, enter. And okay, nothing with pitch, the P-I-T-C and H. All those letters are not featuring in the final word, so it's okay. Drums, D-R-U-M-S. I'll wait till you can enter. Okay, so the D, U, M and S are not in the final word, but the R is, so out of those 15 letters, I've only matched with an O, an E, an R, and neither of those letters. Yeah, that's the way to say it. Yeah, neither of those letters are in the right position in the final word. So okay, let's reach into my back pocket and pull out Corky. G-A-W-K-Y. Yep, to use obviously the A I've used before, so I won't get hit on the A, but that gives me the next G, W, K and Y are the next four popular letters. Top 15 popular letters in words, English words, and then the next four are G, W, K and Y, which I use Gurky if I don't really have much to go on with the first three. The first three words. Okay, so no hits with G. A, of course, no hits, but no with G, W, K or Y. Okay, so that's interesting. Okay, so I might have to look down here into the letters that I haven't used at all yet, which would be anything in the light grey, the Q, the F, the J, the Z, X, V or B. So I've got a feeling, well, I don't know, it would be likely that the word ends in E and R, which is okay. So what if, say it was O, blank O, blank ER, what would be a word that perhaps use one or more of those letters? Say something like F. Say something like F, O, V, E, R. I don't even know if that's a word or not. Fova. Oh no, that's a shake on that one. Not in the word list. What about say if I was to use rover, R-O-V-E-R? That's possible. That's not bad. I'm using the V, which is one of those untested letters so far. E and the R. O. Let's try another spot for O and another spot for R. Yeah, okay. I'll try Let's see how that goes. Rover. Okay, so I know the E and the R has to be at the end. Now the O can't be in the third column, can't be in the second column, so it's actually O's got to be at the beginning. It's got to be something, some word ending in ER, like, well, it could be something like, older. I won't try that because obviously the L and the D I know they're not featuring in the word other. O-U-T-H Diana O-U-T outer, no. Owner, O-W-N-E-R, no. All those letters I've shown up there, so what about if obviously the V wasn't successful, but what about if it's O, F, F, E, R? Okay, so that would work. O to begin with, E, R at the end. F hasn't been tried yet. It's my last chance. That's a good guess. I'll see how that goes. Enter. Oh, okay, yeah, I got it. Congratulations, come back. So I would have said few up the top. So there we go, I've solved it in 6 guesses. The winning word, today's word, was offer. So from that, you can kind of see all those greyed out letters, and they're down there as well. It shows you what can't be in the final word. So I knew where the ER had to be, I knew where the O had to be, and was just finding those letters in column 2 and 3. So, in the end, it was a bit of a luck at the end, but a bit of a calculated guess. Not sure if there was any other options. Anyway, offer is the winning word. Okay, so well, I'm going to wrap the video up here. Must be well into the 50-minute mark now. I've recorded. Actually, this has been fun. Actually, just doing, 8 or 10 minutes a day. A video, putting it all together in one final long video. That's a new piece of gum each day. They just point it out. So yeah, okay. So don't forget to like and subscribe if you've got this far. Then yeah, please like and subscribe. And also there's a tip jar in the description section under the video if you want to say thanks for any of the videos. No obligation of course, but that would be much appreciated. But apart from that, I'll wrap it up now and say that I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you found it relaxing. Thanks for watching.